Suppose we have single bay, single story frame. This is a single story, single bay frame, and this one is a undeformed shape. Okay, this one. This frame is subjected to the ground acceleration UG double dot. This is a ground acceleration. Definitely base of the structure will also move this much. This is a displacement here. This is a ground acceleration, and then we have the acceleration of the system, acceleration of the mass because of this excitation or this disturbance. You can have the time history data here. This is a time history data. We can write the equation of motion for the single story, single bay frame subjected to the ground acceleration. This one is the ground acceleration. So we can write the equation of motion. So mass times the acceleration of the ground plus the acceleration of the mass because of the stiffness and damping in the system plus c times the velocity and k times the displacement, that is equal to 0. Okay, so here we have the total acceleration of the ground, and this is the acceleration because of the resistance structural. When the body will deform, there is a resistance because of stiffness in the system and the damping in the system. So this is the acceleration. So total acceleration multiplied the mass and then damping time, velocity, and stiffness time, the displacement is equal to 0. Okay, we can expand this expression. Open the expression here. Mass time the ground acceleration plus the mass time the acceleration of the system. Okay, this is the acceleration of the top with respect to the relative acceleration with respect to the base, and then also the relative displacement and velocity with respect to the base. We can take this term on the right hand side, and this is the mass time the acceleration. This is a force. Okay, so this is the applied dynamic force because of the earthquake. Then we can divide throughout by mass. Here we will have 1. Here we will have C over M, K over M, and on the right hand side we have 1. Okay, and then we can use the relationships C over 2M, that is equal to zeta omega n, and K over M under root, that is equal to omega n. So K over M will be equal to omega n square, and C over M is equal to 2 zeta omega n. K over M is equal to omega n square, and C over M is equal to 2 zeta omega n. Just put the values. We can write the equation of motion of the single degree freedom system subjected to the earthquake excitation in terms of zeta and omega n. So here we have 1 C over M, 2 zeta omega n, and then here we have omega n square displacement, that is equal to ground acceleration. So this is the equation of motion for the single degree freedom system subjected to the earthquake excitation in terms of zeta and omega n. Okay. Now we have to perform the response spectrum analysis for the multi-degree freedom system subjected to the earthquake excitation. So we have the multi-degree freedom system. This is a multi-degree freedom system. First step is we have to perform the model analysis. So I hope you can perform the model analysis. When we will perform the model analysis for the multi-degree freedom system, we will have the polynomial equation of n degree. We can solve that polynomial equation, and we will have n omega values and n mode shapes. These deformed shapes are known as the mode of vibration or mode shapes. Each shape is vibrating with a particular frequency. Total unique mode shapes for the multi-degree freedom system, they are equal to the degree of freedom of the system. Already we have discussed everything. Okay, multi-degree freedom system, we can perform the mode analysis. We will have n mode values that is equal to the degree of freedom of the system, and we will have the corresponding mode vectors. So equation of motion for the multi-degree freedom system we can write in this way, and this system is subjected to the earthquake excitation. So just like this one, equation of motion for the single degree freedom system subjected to the earthquake excitation, we can write the equation of motion for the multi-degree freedom system subjected to the earthquake excitation. So only difference here, we have the mass matrix here, acceleration vector, damping matrix, velocity vector, stiffness matrix, displacement vector, and on the right hand side पे क्या हमारे mass time the acceleration of the ground, mass matrix multiplied by acceleration of the ground. This is the additional term here, R. R is the influence coefficient vector. What is the influence coefficient vector? We will discuss later. So this equation, this is the equation of motion for the multi-degree freedom system subjected to the earthquake excitation. On the right hand side, we have the force here, and these are the resisting forces. Equation of motion for the multi-degree freedom system. M is the mass matrix, size is n by n. C is the stiffness matrix, size is n by n. This is a diagonal matrix. This is also this is the square symmetric matrix, and then damping matrix, size is again n by n. Influence coefficient vector, R is the influence coefficient vector. What is the influence coefficient vector? Look at this this multi-degree freedom system. Because of the earthquake excitation, the inertial force will be in which direction? If the load is in this direction, inertial force will be definitely, that is a resisting force. But the in the opposite direction, but in the opposite negative direction. इसी तरह होगा ना, अगर लोड इधर लगा हुआ है तो inertial force किस डायरेक्शन में होगी? इसी डायरेक्शन में होगी. What do you think?
Yes sir, इसी डायरेक्शन में होगी.
ऑपोजिट होगी लेकिन x स्केल होगी ना.
Yes sir.
इसी डायरेक्शन में होगी लेकिन ऑपोजिट होगी, रेजिस्टिंग फोर्स है. Suppose we have, look at this. I hope you can see this. जो हैंड सिंबल आपको नजर आ रहा है माउस का.
Yes sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Suppose we have the cantilever flame here. This beam is cantilever. We have a column here. This is fixed at the base. We have a mass here at the free end. Okay. Suppose there's nothing here. Only we have these two members. We have mass here. This mass can move in the vertical direction. This mass also can move in the lateral direction. Assume this mass can move in the vertical direction, in this direction, and also in the lateral direction. If the load is in the lateral direction along the x-axis, in which direction we will have the inertial force? Along x or y? We will have the inertial force in the same direction. No? How about the degree of freedom which is in the y direction? There will be no inertial force. ठीक है? Clear?
Yes, sir.
Resisting force भी उसी direction में होगी ना. So influence coefficient value for the degree of freedom in which there is no inertial force, that will be equal to 0, and influence coefficient value for the degree of freedom in which there is an inertial force, that will be equal to 1. ठीक है? इधर inertial force है, इस direction में inertial force नहीं होगी, तो along the lateral direction the influence coefficient value will be equal to 1, and in the other direction it will be equal to 0. ठीक है? Okay, so we have the influence coefficient vector. This is n by 1, and then we have the relative displacement vector. This is a relative displacement vector, relative velocity vector, relative acceleration vector. Look at this one. Are you familiar with this equation? K minus omega n square, omega n I square, mass matrix times vector A. Here is the fact vector phi only. ये किस लिए किया था हमने? मॉडल एनालिसिस के लिए इक्वेशन थी ना बेटा, हमने इसको प्रूफ किया हुआ है.
Yes, sir.
K minus omega n square mass matrix multiplied by vector A, that is equal to 0. We can find out the determinant of K minus omega n square m, and we will have the polynomial equation. So actually you have to perform the eigenvalue eigenvector analysis. So for this multi-degree freedom system, you can perform the model analysis, and after performing the model analysis, what informations you will have? इसको मैं नीचे किस तरह करूँ? Show. चलिए जी बेटा, चलिए आप नजर आ रहा है। So we can
So
find out
question
the
था,
omega values. How many omega values will be we will have the omega values equal to the degree of freedom of the system, and this is the omega value for the ith mode. Similarly, we can find out the eigenvectors for each eigenvalue, and omega, these are the natural frequencies for the different modes. तो करना क्या है, सिंपली आपने we have to perform the model analysis. Okay, after performing the model analysis, you will have the eigenvalues, eigenvectors, or the mode values and the mode shapes. Next step is, once we have performed the model analysis, then we can transform the coordinates from the normal to the model by multiplying with the model matrix. Model matrix हमारे पास है, mode shapes हमने find out कर ली हैं. We can multiply with the model matrix, and we can transform the coordinates from the normal to the model, and then we can use the orthogonal property of the mode shapes. So क्या orthogonal property? We can multiply the mass matrix, stiffness matrix, and damping matrix with the transpose of the model matrix, and then with the model matrix, what will be the answer here? We will have another mass matrix, another damping matrix, another stiffness matrix. Okay, and these matrices, damping matrix and the stiffness matrix, they will be diagonal. Look at here. We can name them. This one is a generalized mass matrix. This one is a generalized damping matrix. This one is the generalized stiffness matrix. Okay. Look at here. Mass matrix, generalized mass matrix. We can use the capital M here, and then generalized damping matrix, generalized stiffness matrix. On the right hand side, we have this expression, phi t m r, acceleration of the ground. Next step is we have to divide the whole expression with the mass matrix. कर दें, mass matrix से divide कर दें. And by using the orthogonal property of the mode shapes, now these matrices, they are diagonal. Mass matrix, damping matrix, and stiffness matrix, they are diagonal. We can divide this equation by the mass matrix. Here we will have, क्या आएगा यहाँ पर? M over M. पहली टर्म को डिवाइड करेंगे, क्या आंसर आएगा बेटा आपका? Mass matrix, this term divided by the mass matrix. 1 आ जाएगा आपके पास?
yes sir, unit vector.
क्या आएगा बेटा? क्लियर है ना?
तो unit vector
यहाँ
आ
पे क्या
जाएगा.
आएगा? We have to divide this expression throughout by the mass matrix. Here you will have M. M divided by M, it will be 1. How about here?
CD over M.
C over D. C over M. And here?
K over M.
K over M. And then you can divide this term by M. Okay. Just like the single degree of freedom system, अगर आपको याद है जो हमने अभी किया है, when you divide the whole expression by the mass, we have C over M, K over M, and then on the right hand side we have 1. So C over M is equal to 2 zeta omega and K over M is equal to omega n square. इसी को हम यूज कर रहे हैं दोबारा फिर. So here we have 1, here we have C over M, and C over M is equal to 2 zeta omega n. But here we have I zeta values and I omega values. I ऐड किया, बाकी सिमिलर है जैसे फर्स्ट सिंगल डिग्री फ्रीडम सिस्टम था. And for the single degree freedom system, we have 2 zeta omega, but here we have 2 zeta I omega I. We have different zeta value and omega value for each mode value, mode shapes. Similarly, K over M, previously it was equal to omega n square. Now it is equal to omega n I square. ठीक है जी? And on the right hand side, we have this value. You can divide with the mass matrix, and mass matrix, generalized mass matrix is phi t m r divided by phi t m phi. We can define a new term, that is the model participation factor for the ith mode, phi t m r divided by capital M, and capital M is phi t m phi, phi t m phi. And this is the model participation factor for the ith mode, multiplied by the acceleration of the ground. So this expression is similar to the single degree freedom system. Only difference is we have n omega values and I and zeta values. And we have a new term here, that is a model participation factor. ठीक है बेटा, चले. And then we can find out the maximum displacement response and maximum acceleration response. Previously, the maximum displacement response, how can we find out the maximum displacement response for the single degree freedom system? क्या procedure था? If we have to use the response spectrum method, how can you find out the maximum displacement response of the single degree freedom system by using the response spectrum? Anybody remember? अभी हमने example भी solve किए बेटा.
सर वो x max is equal to s divided by omega.
नहीं, अगर आपने डिस्प्लेसमेंट फाइंड आउट करनी है, मैक्सिमम
टाइम पीरियड निकालेंगे
तो क्या करते थे पहले आप?
टाइम पीरियड
Second
और
degree के लिए
टाइम पीरियड निकाल देते हैं.
टाइम पीरियड कैलकुलेट करते थे, डैम्पिंग रेशियो कैलकुलेट करते थे, इसी तरह था.
यस सर.
Once we have the
Yes, sir.
time period and a damping ratio, then you can
Sir,
see
वो
the maximum
graph-
displacement response of the system from the response spectrum. यही किया था ना?
यस सर.
So that maximum displacement response of the system, it was a function of zeta and t. यही था. Damping ratio and the time period. And time period are angular frequency and circular frequency. They have the relationship. So again, because we have uncoupled the equation of motion, we can see the response, maximum response of the system having a certain damping ratio and the time period are the mega values from the response spectrum. So previously it was maximum response, it was equal to SD. SD is the function of zeta and omega, or zeta or t. पहले भी यही था, अगर आपको याद है तो. ठीक है ना? रिस्पॉन्स स्पेक्ट्रम से आपने देखनी है वैल्यू, एंड दिस वैल्यू यू कैन टेक फ्रॉम द रिस्पॉन्स स्पेक्ट्रम. इज इट क्लियर? Maximum spectral displacement you can pick from the response spectrum, and maximum spectral displacement, it is the function of zeta and omega, or zeta and t. Okay, now the difference is we have to multiply it with the model vector. ठीक है, phi I से multiply करने and model participation factor से multiply करने. This is the additional thing for the multiple degree freedom system. Similarly, if you have to find out the maximum acceleration response of the ith mode, you can pick the response from the response spectrum, and this is the function of zeta and t, or zeta and omega. You can multiply with the model participation factor and the model vector for that particular mode, and you will have the acceleration vector for that mode. तो किसी भी मोड के लिए आपने मैक्सिमम डिस्प्लेसमेंट एक्सेलरेशन फाइंड आउट करनी है, यू हैव टू मल्टीप्लाई द मॉडल वेक्टर. दिस इज द एक्चुअल वैल्यू, एंड यू कैन से द डिस्प्लेसमेंट बिकॉज ऑफ द पर्टिकुलर लोडिंग, एंड दीज आर द relative values. This is a model vector, mode shapes, so you can find out the response of the different masses, actual response of the different masses because of a particular earthquake by multiplying with the model vector. Okay, and also with the model participation factor. So required response quantity of interest, displacement, shear force, bending moment, etc. of the structure can be obtained in each mode of vibration. Once you have the response, अब मुझे ये बताएं, in the static analysis, what you calculate first? Stiffness method में बताएं. What is unknown in the stiffness method?
Displacements calculate करते हैं unknown.
And once we have the displacement, can you calculate the global forces and the reaction forces and the stresses and strains in the body?
Yes sir.
यस सर.
Yes sir.
पहला unknown
Yes,
आपका जो
sir.
होता है, unknown is the displacements. ठीक है. Similarly, if we have the displacement of the different nodes, here velocity displacement of the different nodes, can we calculate the shear forces, bending moments, or the internal forces in the body?
Definitely sir.
Yes, sir.
In the same way we can calculate. Just we need, only difference is here that in this case, we are interested as a designer, we are interested in the maximum displacement. And for that maximum displacement, we can calculate the corresponding forces and the stresses and strains in the body. Okay, however, the final response shall be obtained by combining the responses in each mode of vibration using the model combination rules. We will calculate the response in each mode separately. ठीक है, हर मोड में जो रिस्पॉन्स होगा आप कैलकुलेट करेंगे सेपरेटली, एंड देन व्हाट विल बी द टोटल रिस्पॉन्स. This is the procedure to find out the response of the structure by using the model analysis. And the procedure is you have to perform the model analysis first, and then you have to uncouple the equation of motions, and then you have to calculate the response of the different masses in each mode separately. Once we have the response in each mode separately, then you can combine the responses by using the model combination rules, and you will have the total response because of that particular loading. Okay, we will discuss only this slide and then we will conclude today's lecture. We have three methods: absolute sum method, square root of sum of square method, and complete quadratic combination method to combine the responses in the different modes. What is the first method? Absolute sum method. Simply, we can add the absolute value. Absolute value कौन सी होती है बेटा?
तो डायरेक्शन से इंडिपेंडेंट हो गए.
हाँ, without any sign. कुछ आपके पॉजिटिव होंगे, कुछ नेगेटिव होंगे. So simply, you can add the responses, absolute value of the responses in the different modes, and those responses we will have the total response. And then we have another method, which is the square root of sum of square method. In this method, we will take the square of the response in each mode, and then we will take the under root of the sum of the square of the responses in each mode. That will be the response value. That will be the total response of the structure. Another method is, in this we have 2-3 other empirical formulas. So we will use these simple combination rules to find out the total response. ठीक हो गया? इसको आप देख सकते हैं, अगर कहेंगे तो मैं फॉर्मूला इसका भी शेयर कर लूंगा आपके साथ. So these are different methods to combine the responses in the different modes. So by using the model combination rules, we can combine the responses and we will have the total response. जी बेटा.
सर जो टोटल रिस्पॉन्स है सर वो कॉम्बिनेशन होगा सर, एक्सेलरेशन, डिस्प्लेसमेंट, शेयर फोर्स.
नहीं, एक्सेलरेशन का रिस्पॉन्स नहीं, उसको कंबाइन नहीं करना आपने. You have to combine the same response, similar response in the different modes. For example, if you have to find out the displacement of the different of the different masses, so you can combine the displacement response in each mode, and you will have the total displacement of each mass.
ठीक सर.
Velocity को नहीं combine करना, same response को combine करना आपने. हर मोड में आपने रिस्पॉन्स सेपरेटली कैलकुलेट करना है और फिर आपने कंबाइन करना है बाय यूजिंग द मॉडल कॉम्बिनेशन रूल्स. बात क्लियर हुई आपकी?
यस सर.
वेलोसिटी के साथ यानी एक्सेलरेशन के साथ वेलोसिटी के साथ डिस्प्लेसमेंट का कोई उस तरह रिलेशनशिप डायरेक्ट नहीं है, उसको तो नहीं कंबाइन, इसको किस तरह ऐड कर सकते हैं? सेम क्वांटिटी को ऐड करेंगे ना. सो वी विल कैलकुलेट द रिस्पॉन्स इन ईच मोड सेपरेटली, एंड देन वी कैन कंबाइन the same response in different modes by using the model combination rules. बात क्लियर हुई कि नहीं आपको? Is it clear बेटा? Okay, if you have any question.
Yes sir.
जी बेटा, कोई क्वेश्चन है किसी किस्म का आपका?
सर एक वैसे क्वेश्चन था जनरल.
जी बट जनरल क्वेश्चन पूछना है बिल्कुल.
सर जो
सब्जेक्ट से है या वैसे जनरल है? बिल्कुल जनरल.
नो सर सब्जेक्ट से है.
सब्जेक्ट से भी ठीक है. नहीं, जनरल में डिस्कस कर ले, अभी है टाइमर 5-10 मिनट है हमारे पास. जी बेटा.
सर जो अर्थक्वेक फोर्स होती है एज कम्पेयर टू अदर डायनेमिक फोर्स जो हमने अब तक स्टडी की है, वो हमेशा बेस्ड ऑन द स्ट्रक्चर पे अप्लाई होती है. तो हम इसको लंप मासेस की पोजीशन पे कैसे अप्लाई कर रहे हैं? कोई कन्वर्जन फैक्टर्स लगा रहे हैं, डायरेक्टली हम सिंपली m टाइम्स एक्सेलरेशन लिख रहे हैं इसको?
नहीं बेटा, वो आपको इस तरह है कि आपकी जो दिस इज नहीं, वो आपका जो सिस्टम है वो डिस्टर्ब हो रहा है। अर्थक्वेक लोडिंग जो सी है ना, अर्थक्वेक
Yes, sir.
की वजह से आपका सिस्टम, यानी यू कैन से देयर इज द एक्सेलरेशन एट द बेस, earthquake loading is as at the base of the structure. अच्छा, मुझे ये बताएं कि जब लोडिंग लगती है, कोई भी लोड है आपका, ठीक है,
जी सर,
तो रेजिस्टेंस होगी,
डेफिनेटली सर।
स्टिफनेस की वजह से, डैम्पिंग की वजह से, इनर्शिया की वजह से रेजिस्टेंस होती है। अब हाई राइज आपका स्ट्रक्चर है सपोज, चलो हम जनरल क्वेश्चन ही कह रहे हैं, इसको मैं क्लोज करना चाह रहा हूँ।